afternoon, dear boys and girls.
Good afternoon, teacher.
I'm so glad to see you today. How are you today? As for me, I'm a bit nervous and excited because it is a great occasion for me. And what about you, Helen? How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. And what about you, Alona?
I'm well, thank you. What about you, Granny?
I'm very well.
And you?
I'm okay.
So, and what about you, Ilya? Are you fine today?
I'm ready to work.
You're ready to work. And what about you, Vava?
Just as usual.
Just as usual, ready to work too, yeah? I'm very glad to hear this. So, let's start our work today. Today is Tuesday, the 3rd of March, 2015. And let's start our unusual lesson. It is unusual, firstly, because we have a lot of guests. Let's greet them.
Welcome to us.
Secondly, it is unusual because today we will have a splendid opportunity to feel touch of something eternal, I mean art. It will be unusual because we will speak about the best representatives of the British painting of the 18th, 19th century. You will have an opportunity to represent the result of your teamwork. And of course, everything we will do with the help of our smartboard today. And so, let's start, get ready for your work and enjoy it. And our first task, I'd like you to put the red hats on and to express your emotions. This is one of the interactive methods which was invented by Edward de Bono. Now, express your emotions about art. For example, as for me, when I speak about art, I have an excellent opportunity to have a traveling into the far past, to feel something eternal, to feel touch of something eternal. And I have an opportunity to understand the ideas and the thoughts of the artist. And what about you? What are your emotions when you speak about art? You're welcome. Raise your hands. Sonia?
As for me, I'm fond of art. And,
A bit louder.
As for me, I'm fond of art, and I think that what kind of feelings we have depends on the kind of piece of work or piece of art we are looking at. And I always like
Соня, слуховой аппарат нет у нас.
I always like feeling admired and delighted with this piece of art.
Okay, thank you. And you, Helen?
As for me, when I speak about art, I feel excited because it is very interesting and impressive. Art plays an important role in our life, and we can get something new and beautiful from it. A lot of works of art are fabulous.
Okay, and you, Kate, what can you tell us?
When I speak about art, I feel proud and delighted. Artists are very talented people. They are able to express their emotions and feelings on the canvas. I think it is a great talent. I appreciate British painting school, but I am proud of our Ukrainian artists. They are admirable because they represent our country and our land.
Okay, and you, Vika?
When I speak about painting, I feel fantastic. I'm inspired by different works of our painters and create pieces of art by myself. And I want to be an architect, and I know that painting will help my dream come true.
Okay, anybody else? You please, Ilya?
When I speak about art, I feel generally nothing. But only some masterpieces can touch my soul.
Okay, so, and what about you, Dasha?
When I speak about art, I don't feel anything at all because I'm not such a fan of art.
Maybe your opinion will change. You will have changed by the end of our lesson. And you, Vova?
Speaking about art, I feel maybe guilty because sometimes I can't understand what author tried to tell us about.
Maybe today you will understand. Yeah, your pupils will help, your students, your classmates will help you to do it. And now, but let's remember the definition of the word art. What is it? We can do it by putting the words in the correct order. You're welcome. Come up to the smartboard and put the words into correct order. Helen, you're welcome.
Такие громогласные на перемене, а сегодня вас тут прямо не слышно. Окончались все, там где шепчете.
You're welcome.
Art is a way of representing things or expressing ideas using picture, sculpture, and other objects that
That's okay. That's
that
good.
people can look at.
So, thank you. Right, correct. Art is a way of representing things or expressing ideas and so on. And we have learned, and now I'd like you to remember the quotations about art. Now, put the words in the correct order and read the quotation and be ready to comment on it. Now, you're welcome. Lera, will you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, come up.
Life is short. Life is short. Art is long.
Art is long. And okay, here it is. Art is long, life is short. Yeah, vice versa. So what can you tell us? What are your...
I agree with the statement because I think that our life is really short and fleeting compared with art. Art is masterpieces of human's mind and imaginations, pictures, architecture, music. But art isn't only things. Only things. It's in our hearts. And this all came to us from the ancient times, and people must keep it in safe. And I think while there is life on the earth, art will live.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else wants to express his thoughts on this quotation, on this saying? Sorry, you please, Sonia?
Art influences
A bit louder, Sonia.
Art influences our life a lot, and art is something very eternal. And to my mind, pieces of art are always outlive their creators, and we know that we can't be immortal, but art can help us to live after our death.
Or we can stay immortal, yeah?
Yes.
Immortal. So, thank you. The next quotation. The next quotation belongs to Pablo Picasso and wants to put the words in the correct order.
Art washes away from the soul.
That's okay, that would be.
The soul, the dust of everyday life.
The dust of everyday life. You have learned it very well.
Pablo Picasso.
Yes, Pablo Picasso. And how do you understand it?
I think that art brings diversity in our life. Without art, our life would be grey and boring. Art makes us more. Art makes us better, more hardworking, industrious. Through art, we express ourselves,
Our inner world. Okay. So thank you. And the next quotation, you're welcome. These quotations, to complete them, you should insert the missing words or the missing prepositions. You're welcome, Ilya. I think that you want to compare painting with poetry.
Painting is silent poetry. And poetry is painting with the gift of speech.
Yeah, very nice words, which also belong to Pablo Picasso.
It's all about feeling and emotions. Painting uses colors and the poetry uses words. These words are colors you see in your mind.
It's your opinion and
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Take your seat. And now, one more expression, and there are too many of you to comment on them. Yeah, okay, do you want to work with our smart board?
Art is an adventure. That never seems to end. Art plays an important role in our life. It develops a sense of style in us, helps to understand the true beauty. Art has many manifestations, for example, literature, music, cinema, and of course painting. Art helps us to find ourselves. During our life, we try to stand out, show our talents, prove ourselves as personalities, and art helps us to do it. Art will never die. Art is eternal. So you can find your place in the road of art, and you will get involved in an endless adventure.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. And you, Helen, what do you think?
As for me, I absolutely agree with Kate that art plays an important role in our life. When we're in a bad mood, we
So
apply to
when we have a good mood, yeah?
Uh,
or when
a bad-
we are in high spirit, a bad mood. Sorry.
a bad mood,
A bad.
we apply to the art for improving it. The art helps us to have a rest after a long, hard day. So I think the art is very important in our life.
Okay, and what about you, Vika?
I agree with my classmates, and I should say that
A bit louder.
I know a lot of prominent masters of art, and their work inspired me to paint interesting pictures myself. And when I start my work, I begin to represent the whole story, which includes different people and animals with certain characteristics. I give these images special idea in order to make them more realistic and alive. Generally, it looks like an adventure. You create a story that captures. And as for me, I paint because I want to make something eternal.
Okay, you see. And now, anybody else about art as an adventure? So, Nika, are you ready to tell us anything about it?
I agree with the statement because while art exists, we exist too.
We exist too. So that's okay. And now you see, we have spoken about art, and we have already found out that painting is one of the kinds of art. And let's find out whether you are good art experts. The task is to match the styles of painting with the pictures. You know that there are a lot of styles of painting. Okay, Dasha, try to do it. And of course, comment.
Okay. I think this picture represents icon painting
Represents icon painting.
because we see Jesus in here. This belongs to this picture belongs
Don't be in a hurry.
Okay.
Speak correctly.
This picture belongs to national.
National painting.
This picture belongs to futurism.
Futurism.
Yes.
Yeah, futurism.
This is an abstractionism,
Abstractionism.
and this is constructivism.
Constructivism. And this picture belongs to constructivism. Now, the next slide. We've got some more styles. And now, can you do it here?
Yes.
Okay, I think Wova will do it here. Wova, you are welcome. Let's find out whether you are a good art expert.
This one belongs to avant-garde.
Avant-garde,
This is Mona Lisa, and that's portrait.
a portrait painting.
Mosaic here, and that's impressionism, and that's landscape.
And this picture, this painting represents landscape painting. Okay, is everything right? Do you agree with our? Yeah. Thank you. I see that we are good art experts after learning this topic. And except styles, there are genres of painting. There are a lot of genres of painting, but today we are to deal only with 3 of them. I'd like you to choose the genres of painting from that group of words and put them on the right. Now, you're welcome, lad. Will you do it? Come up.
The genres painting,
Yeah.
landscape,
Landscape
seascape, marine,
and
and portrait.
portrait painting. Let's
That's all.
check whether you are right. You may open, you may put down the screen below, yeah? Drag the screen below, okay. So,
Alright.
lower, yeah? In order to see the logo, our logo. Oh. So, here it is. You're right. So these 3 genres we're going to deal with today. Thank you. Take your seat. And now, today we will speak about the best representatives of the British painting, but I'd like to remind you the pronunciation of their names because they're quite difficult, yeah? Now, be ready to pronounce after the speaker.
Anthony Van Dyke,
Anthony Van Dyke,
Jonathan Swift,
All right.
Jonathan Swift,
William Hogarth,
William Hogarth,
Joshua Reynolds,
Joshua Reynolds,
J.M.W. Turner,
J.M.W. Turner,
John Constable,
John Constable,
Henry Fielding,
Henry Fielding,
Hans Holbein,
Hans Holbein,
Are all of them painters? Are all of them artists? Or
Jonathan Swift and Henry Fielding are writers.
are writers? So, and why are they here? Do you know why are they here? Your guesses. Why are these portraits here? Voila.
They were
They're
friends
here.
of William Hogarth.
So they were friends of William Hogarth, one of the British artists. That's why we train the pronunciation of their names. Okay. And now, you see, as for me, I'm fond of traveling and visiting any town or city. I try not to lose any opportunity. I do not lose any opportunity visiting art galleries, museums, monuments, and it's a pity. I have never been to the National Gallery of London. I have never been to the Tate Gallery, and today I'm very glad that you gave me such a chance as to visit our unusual gallery, the art gallery at school number 22, which is opening now, and at last you will have a chance to represent the result of your teamwork. We will speak about the best representatives of the British School of Painting. There will be biographers, there will be art experts among you. There is a photographer, a cameraman, a young musician, an IT specialist that can't work today without, and a journalist. And now it's high time for us to start. Let's start our work visiting art gallery. Enjoy it, okay? And the first representative of the golden age of British painting is William Hogarth. But before starting our work with him, or before visiting the hall of William Hogarth, you are not only today to listen and to watch, but you are to work too. Here on the screen you can see the table you are to fill in, and each of you has before you on your desks. Now listen, watch, and fill in the table. William Hogarth, you're welcome. Let's get acquainted with him.
William Hogarth was the first English painter who raised English pictorial art to a high level of importance. He was a person of remarkably individual character and thought. He was a friend of Jonathan Swift and Henry Fielding. In his masterpieces, The Rake's Progress and The Marriage Animal, he showed himself as an innovator. He was the first to invent his own pictorial drama and show some scenes of society's social life.
The marriage animal, the moral series consisted of 6 ingredients, displayed one of the sharpest problems of his time, marriage based on money and vanity. Although his narrative features were comic and full of satire, his portraiture was honest and original. The most brilliant of them are his self-portrait and the shrink girl. While looking at the famous shrink girl, you can't help but admire its harmony. Picture depicts a woman selling shellfish on the streets of London, typical a joke for daughters and wives of fishmongers. It was only sold after his wife's death in 1789. Breaking all the unwritten laws of the art of his time, William Hogarth's remarkable painting shows the terrible evils of the society of those times.
So, thank you, and take a seat, please. Welcome to our next hall, and in this hall, one more prominent portraitist is represented. I mean, Sir Joshua Reynolds.
Sir Joshua Reynolds, 1793-1792, was the most outstanding portraitist of that time. He was the first president of Royal Academy of Arts in Britain. He created a whole gallery of portraits of most famous contemporaries of his time. It may be said that Joshua Reynolds, in his fashion, was a legitimate heir of William Hogarth. Not of Hogarth, moralist and satirist, but of Hogarth, portraitist. He painted portraits, historical themes, and some portraits.
He created the national temperance, yeah?
He created a national temperance. In his writings, he holds a doctrine of imitation, which he has sometimes been reproached, but wrongly so. He was borrowing his own and
Maybe he borrowed. Yeah.
yeah, that's all.
Okay.
For Reynolds, each city was not just a physical fact to be recorded, but rather a story to be told. Reynolds succeeded in rivaling his sitters in the world. One of the most perfect paintings in which great artists had enshrined his dream of woman was the portrait of Nellie O'Brien. Lighting and color can show us the artist's technique at its best. Reynolds often paints the characters in heroic style, and they are not free of idealization. The next slide, please. Reynolds' portrait Miss Siddons as a tragic muse immediately confirmed Miss Siddons' status as the greatest tragic actress of her days. Reynolds presents her not merely in a theatrical role, but as the embodiment of melodrama and as the muse of tragedy. Behind her are figures. Next one. That's all. This is
These are
these
the
are-
paintings, yeah? So
these masterpieces.
you can admire their beauty. Thank you, very nice, well done. Now, you see, among the visitors of our gallery, we can see a poetess, Brenda Weber, and her companion. Brenda was so admired, their unsurpassed masterpiece of Mona Lisa, that she couldn't but devote a poem to it. And her companion Max is a great admirer of this unsurpassed masterpiece too, that he couldn't but visit the Louvre Museum in Paris. So let's listen to them.
Behind kaleidoscopic eyes, there is no mystery where it lies. She is the one to see it all from her position on the wall. We look for something in her smile, we stand to study her a while. Her face of beauty that we seek. What would she say if she could speak? Is her beauty oh so rare? Was Mona just a man in fair? Is she a mirror image of me? Was Mona just she a mirror image of me? Is that what I'm supposed to see? Mona's portrait on the wall, a combination of us all.
There's a touch of someone's beauty on her hair. The heat on
Breeze
make her appear to be so wise. The playful curvature of her lip, on her cheeks condense the creepy. She's beauty is Mona Lisa, but so is a line tower of Pisa. What is the mystery there that lies behind kaleidoscopic eyes?
So, very nice, thank you. Our appreciation to you. Take your seats, please. And now, the life and work of one more brilliant portrait painting is represented in this hall. I think you will like it.
Thomas Gainsborough was an English painter. He was born in 1727 in Suffolk, England. When he left home to study art in London in 1740. When he was 19, he married Margaret Bond. After some time, became parents of 2 daughters. Then he started exhibiting in London. In 1769, he became founding member of the Royal Academy. He died of cancer in 1788. He is considered to be a brilliant painter. His masterpiece are painted in clear tones where blue and grey colors predominate. Also, Thomas Gainsborough is a creator of the great English school of landscape painting.
And I will present you his famous works. One of them is Lady in Blue. This is the portrait of Duchess. And as you can see, the young and attractive woman is depicted. She is probably an aristocrat. She has black eyes, straight eyebrows, and very delicate hands. Next slide, please. And this is his famous works.
These are his famous works.
You can see landscape here.
Enjoy looking at them, yeah?
Thomas Gainsborough also was great in depicting animals.
Another.
And Mrs. Shelton. And this is a portrait of Mrs. Sarah Sharon Siddons. She was a great tragic actress, and as critics around the world say, this portrait is a unique interpretation of the unique personality. Next. And this picture made Thomas Gainsborough famous. Landscapes.
His landscapes, yeah?
Yes.
He was also a landscape painter. And here you can read some interesting information about this artist. Okay, thank you girls. You were brilliant, I think. And now, I think you are tired a little bit. It is not that easy to go around all these halls in the art gallery. That's why I'd like you to listen to some music, relax and enjoy listening to music. Our young violinist, Tatiana Borisova, is to your attention. May I help you? So, just a moment. portraitist for today, the portraitist of nobility, of British nobility. You're welcome, girls. Sir Thomas Lawrence, to your attention.
Sir Thomas Lawrence was born on the 13th of April in 1769 in Bristol. He was the youngest surviving child in the family of Thomas and Lucy Lawrence. In the 1786, his family moved to Devizes, where his father was owner of the hotel. He took up to painting in 1786. In 1787, he became a pupil of the Royal Academy School. In the 1794, he became a member of Academy and paid an honorary to the King George III after Reynolds' death in 1790. As a young man, Lawrence was handsome and lively as well as accomplished. He had polished manners and was an elegant dancer, fencer, billiard player, as well as elegant dancer, violinist and singer. Lawrence didn't underestimate his own talents.
Lawrence was also very hardworking. Lawrence slowly drew his painting. On his desk, over 100 unfinished paintings were found in his studio. He supported his family with money. He sometimes needed the money. In 1790, Lawrence was romantically involved with both Mary and Sally Siddons, Mrs. Siddons' two eldest daughters. He first fell in love with Mary and then with Sally. Lawrence was forbidden to communicate with them. He never married. Lawrence died suddenly.
So he died suddenly.
He died suddenly on the 7th of January 1630.
The picture that has caught my eye today is portrait of Honorable Mrs. Seymour Bathurst. A work began in 1794, in 1828, just 2 years before his death. Thomas Seymour Bathurst decided to marry Julia Harkey, it is a lady of the picture, and he ordered a portrait of his future wife to Thomas Lawrence. In fact, portrait wasn't finished in time for the wedding and was delivered to the customer only after artist's death. Julia Harkey was 30 years at the time of painting. Julia made Lawrence feel interested in her lively beauty wearing a light blue dress and decorated with adornments. Now this masterpiece is saved in Dallas Museum, Texas, USA. And now you can enjoy another masterpieces of Thomas Lawrence.
Arthur, yeah? His other portraits.
Yes, the main
All of
genre
them?
of Thomas Lawrence was
portrait painting, and all of his portraits are devoted to nobility, yeah? To noble
Yes, he was
people,
nobility
to
king.
very famous people. Okay,
Yes,
thank you. It wasn't nice. Thank you. The other one. Now let's get acquainted with the landscape painters of Great Britain. You're welcome, girls.
John Constable is one of the most outstanding painters who developed his own style of painting. He was the first English landscape to ask no lesson from the Dutch. His originality does not lie in the choice of subject, which frequently repeat themes by Gainsborough. Constable really seems to belong to another century. He ushers in the new era, and the difference results at once from the feeling and the technique. He's considered a sketch made directly from the nature, which the first task of painter to do. He introduced green to the painting, green of freeze, green of color, all greens until then painters refused to see. He used broken touch of color. He made quick sketch based on his first impression of natural beauties. He had an important role in the modern impressionism. His work, Hay and the Flat Vermouth, became an icon of England.
The next, please. The Hay is a site of is based on site in Suffolk near Flatford on the River Stour. The Hay a type of horse-drawn cart, stands in the water in the foreground. Across the meadow in the distance on the right is a group of haymakers at work. John Constable, with the use of color and light, beautifully reflected ripples along stream surface and use darker shadows in the clouds in the corner to indicate a storm approaching. Almost concealed, a fisherman is hidden on the right. And also on the next slide, you can see other masterpiece which belongs to John Constable.
Which belong one more famous work. And here it is, even the opening of Waterloo Bridge. Okay, and
his
words, yeah, the world is wide, no 2 days are alike, no even 2 hours, and so on and so forth. So thank you. And here among our guests we have, we can see a young artist, Nika Vova. And our journalist Kalona is eager to have an interview with her, because I think that Nika has to tell us something, yeah? Has something to tell us. Okay.
What is your name?
I'm Nika Gold.
Where do you come from?
I come from Kramatorsk, Ukraine.
How long have you been painting?
14 years. I began to draw at the age of 5, and my first pictures were funny and interesting.
What kind of art do you belong to?
I'm with realism, minimalism, but sometimes abstractionism.
Why did you choose this style?
When I was 5, I had many books with wonderful pictures of animals. I like animals, and my first pictures were a lion and a dinosaur. I think it is very fun.
In what genre do you work?
I paint mostly animal, landscape, but sometimes portraits.
Is there any painting you find success?
When I was 9, I went to the art school. My teacher taught me to draw, and now look at my picture.
What are your future plans? What are you going to paint next?
So, look at your picture. Nika is going to tell us about her picture. She is still going.
It is my first big oil painting. Look here.
Yeah.
2 big birds sitting on the branch. The trees are bare, the ground is covered with snow, and it is cold. The birds are strong, they are too, and they are ready for all difficulties.
What are your future plans? What are you going to paint next?
I don't know, but I think my future will be connected with drawing.
Well, I wish you every success.
Thank you.
Enjoy Nika's work, yeah? The next slide, Igor. And
everything you can
imagine is real, yeah? Pablo Picasso thinks so. So, thank you. We wish you every success too. Take your seats. And at last our excursion is about to finish. But we would like to attract your attention to British Ayvazovsky. I mean William Turner, of course. William Turner.
William Turner, a great romantic English landscape painter, was born in Devonshire in 1775. He lived with his uncle in Middlesex, where he began to attend school. His first drawings are dated 1787, when he was 12 years old. When he was 21, he began to exhibit oil paintings as well as watercolors. The first fisherman at sea is now in the Tate Gallery.
I want to listen.
William Turner had a lifelong passion for the sea, and he dedicated most of his paintings to it. We know that Turner was a sailor, and I think sea absorbed him. He gave to his seas mass and weight as well as movement. His waves seemed to be alive. The next. To a sailor, the ship is a living creature, courageous and loyal. In drawing, Turner shows a knowledge that springs from love. If Turner sympathized with ship, he sympathized equally with the man within them, and loved to depict a fisherman pulling at oars or sailors grappling with ropes. He only cared, in fact, to portray the mood of the sea, as it affected the experiences of a man. Next. Calais-Pierre is one of his grandest creations. Those who look at the picture can smell the water and the shelter of the wind. The composition of this creation gains unity from the center of the picture of two masses of light upon the sky above and upon the waves below. Now you can see that the coloring of this painting is masterful. Next.
The top?
No, William Turner died in London in 1851. His pictures and drawings became the property of English nation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And everything, take your seat. Everything has its end. And our excursion to the art gallery at our school number 22 has finished too. But now our lesson is not, because we have some tasks left. Now I think that you're ready with your tables. Check yourselves looking at the table. And is everything correct? You can add some information, and you will have these mind maps for you to remember about the best representatives of the British painting. And now let's sum up the results of our work. And it's high time for us to say, I have found out that, I have learned that. Alena, give us the microphone. And you're welcome. Let's start with Lera.
I have found out that John Constable introduced the green color in the painting.
In painting, okay.
I have learned that Sir Thomas Lawrence, Thomas Gainsborough, was the artist of the same period of art.
Okay, in a quick way, you see.
I have found out that there are a lot of talented painters in Britain.
Okay,
I found out that every British painters are original and no one is the same.
I have learned to work with smartboard and
yeah, it's very useful, yeah, and very interesting. You please.
I have found out that a lot of new words on this topic and larger
Okay, enlarge your vocabulary, you please.
I have found out that a lot of masterpieces now in the Tate Gallery.
Are now in the Tate Gallery. You please, Sonia.
I have found out that the majority of masterpieces are kept in the UK, but there are a lot of others which are kept in the USA and other countries.
And even in the Hermitage and private collections. You please go on. I have found out.
I have found out that Willard Hogarth produced his own pictorial.
A bit louder.
I have found out that Willard Hogarth produced his own pictorial drama by his portrait.
Okay, and you, Anne?
I have learned to work in a team.
Okay, it's very nice.
I have found out that to sail a ship is a living creature, courageous and loyal.
So, and now, as for me, I have found out, and I knew it for sure, that you're brilliant students, And now it's high time for us to finish our work today. And if you like your work today and your activity, please choose a smiling face. If you do not, choose a sad one. It depends on you whether our palette will be smiling or sad today. So I invite the coordinators of our group. You see? Come up here, the coordinators. Yes, and match it with the color. You should, okay, and my smiling face here. You see, if you want, you can join us in this task. And now, we have got a smiling palette. Congratulations, you did it. And I should say that you worked brilliantly today. So we have reached our goal. We have dealt and we have spoken about the British painting today. I want to see your smiling faces at our next lesson. And I should say that there are people who do not only like to get presents, but to give them. So my present to you, a home task for our next lesson, because we are going to start a new unit. Yeah, the most positive from our lesson. And your classmate has got a surprise for you. Now, our lesson is over. Thank you, but listen to your classmate. And as for me, I have found out that you are brilliant and talented students, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank
you. Thank you. Thank you too. But the main thing is the art of living. Try to remember this. And now, our guests, I beg pardon, but here is a tradition. I like to take a photograph with these pupils. Let's take it, yeah? And